listening to Just My Show, your number one source for pop culture. Here's Eric.
So how does this happen? You just decide you want to do a talk show?
Yeah. There's really no clever way to put a spin on that.
But people say that. I would say that. And then I make one phone call, and then I get bored, and you go decide you're going to run the marathon or something.
Yeah, I went through with it. I was 13, 14-ish when I decided I wanted to do something fun with my life. I was fortunate to know what I wanted to do at an early age, and obviously there aren't many avenues for a person early into their teens to create their own television program, so I had to do what I had to do, which was take what was available, and that was some local cable programming opportunities, local cable access, which is basically the bottom of the barrel for the medium. And I was told that if I put together 3-hour-long episodes of the show I wanted to produce, which I had promised the station manager would have celebrity guests and entertainment segments, it would sort of look like your standard run-of-the-mill late-night talk show. If I had done that, he would schedule me for a primetime slot in about 24,000 homes in sheer northwest Indiana. So I took that whole summer, and this is back in 98, to put together those 3 shows. And it took me about 3 months to make three shows. But they had the guests, they had the segments. It came out as promised, and I was given my first time slot, which was Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central, and I was opposite ER. And I about crapped my pants when I found out that was where they were putting me. But it got a lot of attention, a lot of publicity locally, and we had a good viewer turnout. It continued to grow and build from there. And I think I looked at the stats on this overall, because I submitted overall well over 1,000 interview requests to celebrities from all walks of life. Basically, anybody on a primetime sitcom was fair game for me, and over 90% of the people I contacted turned me down. So that's a lot of rejection. But because I contacted so many people, that 10% or so who did accept my request made it seem as though I was having a great deal of success. Because if you think about it, now looking back, I've had over 100 guests on the show, 100 celebrities, and most of them are very well-known people. It was coming off to the press and to my viewership as though every week we're pulling in a big celebrity, and it looked good for a local show, not realizing that all along my journey was one of overwhelming failure rather than success. But the illusion was what it was, and we were still putting on good shows, and it was an enormous struggle, but by way of staying the course and not letting all those rude people get to you, it was made to work out.
When the E! Show came in, how much did that change the actual show? Did they come in and try to give you content advice or help with booking guests, or is it still the same show and they're just sort of in the background capturing it?
No, I made it clear because I knew how many shows and other good things have been ruined by intervention from people who really don't know, the product they're essentially trying to sell. So they just came in and filmed what I was doing as I was doing it. But then, of course, people say, well, you had executive producers from E!, correct? But the response to that is those executive producers were for the direction of the crew that was filming me doing my thing. I was still booking the guests, writing the material. I wasn't given writers. I wasn't given, a team of people to do any of the stuff that I was always doing myself. Unfortunately, the sort of homespun control over the project didn't extend into the edit bay, where E! had full creative control. And they sort of took the show and put it together as they saw fit, which I felt could have been better. I felt the fun, the excitement that really went on before, during, and after a show was lost. They were very much concerned with things like the novelty elements. Are you going to take a guest out bowling after the show? Are you going to go out and do this? Are you going to go out and do that? they just didn't have the right approach for capturing the suspense, because I never knew if I was going to have a guest. You know, people thought that, oh, it's an E! show, of course he's going to have a guest. You have no idea how many times they were hoping for, you know, something to basically go wrong to capture that whole, oops, it didn't go right this time. This is how we're different from all the other shows. But they didn't do a good job of capturing the real drama, the essence behind it all. They tried to always make it look, you know, fun and uplifting. Now, it's a talk show, it's an entertainment program. It should be that. But it should also be true to the real story, which was captivating to so many people. It was the struggle, the balancing of responsibilities for a young person. And once people sort of saw that it was, you know, going to be the same thing every week, and it's just all about a running joke, people sort of tired of that. And I think that hurt us a little bit. So I think looking back, if they had to do it differently again, they probably would have.
For more, go to www.justmyshow.com.